It's Monday, January 27, and this is your Barbados Today Evening News Update. Barbados is prepared. That's the assurance from the island's health authorities, even as they keep a close eye on the fast-spreading coronavirus abroad. According to international reports, 82 people are dead and 2,700 cases have been confirmed in mainland China. There are more than 50 confirmed cases in 13 other countries, including at least 5 in the United States. Today, top officials toured the infectious disease facility at Enmore Martindale's Road, St. Michael, and Dr. Corey Ford, head of infection control and infectious diseases at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, assured they're ready for any eventuality.
I think Barbadians need to be reassured that both at the level of the Ministry of Health and the level of the hospital, that we have already put measures in place, which were actually there from before in preparation for Ebola, but to really reassure them that we are prepared on the ground for any eventuality with regards to this. But reassuring them again that the risk, as has been indicated by several international agencies, the risk is quite low. But although the risk is low, we still need to be prepared.
Dr. Ford added that workers are being trained and the island has adequate supplies in stock.
A week before the international incident was called, we were already preparing because we had a clue because of our international contacts that this was coming, and I think that that was strategically important. You would imagine that if you need extra gloves, gowns, face masks, etc., that there's going to be a run internationally, and Barbados as a small community would have more of a challenge in getting these particular things, but I would assure you that we bought everything that was on the ground before the incident hit. So we're also going to benefit from that from a financial perspective, because prices will obviously go up internationally. Already see there are challenges already in procuring the type of equipment that will be needed, but you can be assured we have these things on the ground, down to the thermal thermometers, which can tell your temperature just by standing. So it just, again, reassure that a lot of work has been put in. Where the Ministry of Health and Hospital Administration has been extremely supportive. Kudos to the executive chair and her team on the ground who's worked with us to make sure that we are in the best prepared state that we are.
It was back to the classroom for students from the Lawrence T. Gay Memorial Primary School, though in a few new locations. The reception and infants A's and B's are at the Ebenezer Seventh-day Adventist Church at Eden Lodge. Class 3 students went to the Jackson Seventh-day Adventist Church, while classes 1 and 2 reported to the Christ the King Anglican Church in Rockdundo, St. Michael. When Barbados Today visited Christ the King this morning, grandmother Marceline Cyrus was among parents who were happy that classes are back on track.
The temporary location is not bad because the children still have to learn, and you cannot keep them home for a period of time because then they'll be losing their education. So the temporary location is not bad. It's just like transportation where the parents, really wanted to find out how the children would get to school. But if you have your own vehicle, it ain't a problem bringing your child. And if they have transportation, we shouldn't hear they have transportation. It is $1 down and $1 back up. It's not very bad, so I'm confident that they will settle in, and hopefully, and I pray that they will find the environmental problem at the school where the children can be back at school and they will continue with their education.
Meanwhile, Rector of the Christ the King Anglican Church, Reverend Susan Ellis, says they are pleased to accommodate the students.
We're happy to be of assistance to the parents and teachers at the Lawrence T. Gay Memorial School. It's a part of what we do as a community. This is what God calls us to do as Christians as well. Wherever we can, we are supposed to help because we are indeed all Holy Spirit. So we welcome the parents and the teachers and the children of Lawrence T. Gay School, and we trust that this will be a rewarding and productive time for them, and of course it will be a happy one as well.
Head of the Barbados Drug Service, Mary Ann Hines, said with the abuse of legal and synthetic drugs, the country must upgrade its laws governing pharmaceutical use and how they are dispensed. She made the call while speaking to reporters on the sidelines of a workshop on synthetic drugs conducted by the National Council on Substance Abuse today. Hines explained that several of the pharmaceutical ingredients for these synthetic drugs are too easily accessible in Barbados.
We have been working with the NCSA. We do have legislation, but our legislation is not up to date. And a lot of those substances are not yet in the legislation. But through the NCSA, we have been working on how we can improve and how we can update our regulations so that we are not left behind.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says his government's crime-fighting strategies are much more than pursuing criminals on the street corner. More in this Television Jamaica report.
Mr. Holness says criminals are not limited to those who possibly dropped out of high school and are now in the streets with a gun. Some, he says, are university trained and were once part of the security forces.
Some of them are university trained. Some of them were members of the security forces. Some of them are well versed in financial matters. Some of them have training in cyber matters. And some of them are very well connected with international crime syndicates who have the capacity and the resources to hire not just well-paid attorneys and other professionals, but they have analysts who examine government strategies, find out areas of weakness, and make their plans.
The Prime Minister adds that government is collecting intelligence while investing in technology and other resources to catch those criminals.
On the international scene, the pilot of Kobe Bryant's ill-fated helicopter was flying too low to be monitored in fog. This was revealed in air traffic controller recordings shown today as coroner's investigators said they had recovered 3 bodies from the crash site and were searching for more remains. We get the details from Reuters Television.
It just happened. Our neighbor heard a pop.
The day that NBA superstar Kobe Bryant boarded a fateful helicopter flight with his 13-year-old daughter Gianna and 7 other passengers, witnesses recounted thick fog over the foothills where the chopper went down.
I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "I just heard this loud, sounded like a bang."
Forecasters reported low clouds and limited visibility, and other aircraft were grounded due to the weather. Those conditions are likely to come under the scrutiny of investigators looking into why the Sikorsky S-76 owned by Bryant slammed into a hillside outside the town of Calabasas, California on Sunday. Both the LAPD and the LA County Sheriff's Department told the LA Times the fog was so bad it grounded their helicopter fleets. Bryant's illustrious career began as an 18-year-old rookie who went on to play 20 years for the LA Lakers, 18 of them as an all-star, winning 5 NBA championships. Bryant frequently traveled by helicopter. He was on his way to a sports academy on Sunday in the nearby city of Thousand Oaks, where he was set to coach his daughter's basketball team in a youth tournament. The memorial at Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks was just one of many that quickly sprang up after the crash as sports fans around the world began to mourn the loss of a legend.
We were a big fan of Kobe. Like he's basically bigger than basketball. Like he just meant like excellence, like the best you could be as a man.
One of Gianna's teammates, Alyssa Altobelli, and her parents were also on board.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.